All right, hello wine drinking people. Today is Wednesday, April 6th. Getting ready to take down some Ribera del Duero tonight and the big ham-on. That's right, folks. Whenever we do a tasting here, we try to give you traditional cuisine, things that you'll find from the region where those wines are from. And man, you don't go anywhere in Spain without having ham-on the table. All right, well, enough about our ham-on. We got that tonight. We got a lot of great events coming up next week and the week after that. This is what prompted my email. I am just salivating thinking about the 2006 vintage from Montalcino. The Brunello di Montalcinos look to be just stunning from this vintage. We've been hearing about it for the last couple years from the producers, and this is a wine that's released 5 years after the vintage. It's the longest of any wine that I know of that's held back before release. Well, I guess some people in Spain still hold things back for a long time, like Vega Sicilia. The people will be here next week at the Great Wine Seminar. Pablo Alvarez, going back to, I think, 1953 or something. Whew. Great stuff. That's on our calendar events. Check it out. And the 2006 Brunello tasting on our calendar events for Friday the 22nd, the week after that. Good Friday leading up to Easter there. So a lot of good drinking going on here at the Wine Watch over the next couple weeks. But today, what am I trying to sell you? We've got Valdicava's 2006 Brunello di Montalcino, just released, just landed. And those of you that have been following this show, following the Wine Watch, know Vincenzo Abrusezzi of Valdicava is a very good friend. Been to the winery to visit. Vincenzo has been here many times. Dinner in my home. The first dinner we did in the store, I think it was 3 years ago now, was with Vincenzo and his son. And even though this man has received huge amounts of acclaim for his wine, the 2001 Madonna del Piano, 100 points. And the Wine Spectator, the first Brunello di Montalcino ever to receive 100 points. Well, that in Casa de Nova de Neres, Chiarette Alto that year. But these wines have always gotten top press. And Vincenzo, after you meet him, you know this man is very passionate about what he does. And he spends a lot of time in the vineyard. He spends a lot of time doing research. And this is a very famous estate. Its name comes from the actual region leading into the Montalcino, the flatlands there. This is the foothills and of this area, and it surrounds famous vineyards like Caparzo's La Casa and the very most famous wine in Montalcino, Biandasanti. As a matter of fact, Vincenzo's grandfather used to sell grapes to Biandasanti before he started the winery in 1968. Vincenzo took over. Well, actually, he was an officer of the peace. He was in the police-keeping force, and I think this profession a little more glamorous than being a cop for most people. But Vincenzo doesn't seem like a police type to me anyways. But he took over, and he's really made Valdicava what it is today, one of the top properties in Montalcino today, which is actually a small area. There's only like 220 producers for one of the world's great wine-producing regions. Could have one of the smallest amount of producers. But as I mentioned before, he grew up in this region. He was one of the first to try to copy Biandasanti because Biandasanti was really the only one making great wine from there. And then the 70s was kind of the first round of producers like Valdicava, Canalicchio, De Sopra, and then the second round of producers like Banfi came in later, and the 80s. And these guys, from the 70s, the original core group, to me, some of the best of the traditionalists. And Valdicava, although I would consider him a traditionalist, a lot of people, Montalcino, might not because of the dark color he gets in his wine. And Sangiovese is very hard to get color from. A lot of people would speculate he's putting Cabernet Sauvignon in there. But in the 2003 Brunello scandal, Vincenzo assured me there's no Cabernet Sauvignon in my wine. We don't even grow it on the property. He does have several different clones of Sangiovese. Some of the vineyards date back to 1970. They're that old. The Madonna del Piano is a single vineyard wine. It's his reserve. He makes about 500 cases of this. The Normale Brunello di Montalcino is about 2,000 cases, and then just 2,000 cases of Rosso di Montalcino. And as you can see on offer, we just didn't jump on the bandwagon. We have pages and pages of older vintage Valdicava in stock. Check it out on today's offer. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.